Hey, good afternoon, volleyball fans. Welcome once again to this Valley Live presentation of the AVP Chicago Open here on Oak Street Beach in the windy city of Chicago. It has been nothing but high action, high drama, and we expect that it's probably not going to end here because we've got a great matchup between the number 5 seed of Terese, Canon, and Megan Kraft against the number 6 seed Toni Rodriguez and Geena Urango here in our elimination survival Saturday matchup. I'm Rob Estero with Megan Bergdorf, and we're already into the match. What are your thoughts on this matchup here in our elimination and survival Saturday match?
I mean, it's a head-to-head battle. The 5th seed taking on the 6th seed, battling their way. These two teams have never faced off before, and they have both been peaking individually on both sides.
Megan Kraft lofting a serve right over, and a big return package by Terese Canon out the gate.
Terese and Megan winning their opening match against Devin Newberry and Jaden Whitmarsh, then falling to Betsy Flintz and Julia Scholes, knocking them into the contenders bracket.
Big Geena Urango fading away on that right side attack, getting on the board. Off the block at Terese. One serve to 2. Rodriguez, a 6'1" blocker from St. Amant, Louisiana, now finding her residence in Torrance, California. Joust up top, went out by Rodriguez. Kraft trickles one by the tape and the block.
And a little bit of an "I'll take it" there celebration. Not the prettiest play, but it is a point, and you will take it.
And it still shows the kill in the stats. Canon back to serve. 6'3" blocker from Pittsburgh, New York.
I mean, this team is on fire. I saw them in Vienna. They were lighting it up in Stade as well, and Ostrava. Huge performances, a second in Stade at the Elite 16 on the Pro Beach Tour, and also a third in Vienna. Huge results, taken 5th in Manhattan Beach Open. They're only blooming.
Great pull dig by Terese there, and tooling the blocker Rodriguez.
And looking at Rodriguez and Urango, only their third tournament together. Their 4th tournament together, playing in Huntington Beach, Virginia Beach, and Manhattan Beach, clocking up a 9th, a 5th, and a 3rd overall.
Going high line on the easy rolls. Toni Rodriguez first switch to looking at 5.
Here's where the real race and appetite is for that league spot. Those teams qualifying in. On the women's side, a number of teams have already secured their place and have qualified, one of them being Toni Rodriguez and Geena Urango, based on points and finishes in the Heritage Series. Terese Canon and Megan Kraft looking to punch their ticket as well. They're the next eligible team, followed by Kylie DeBerg, Haley Howard, and Savvy Simo and Abby Van Winkle.
Attack misses long as Rodriguez Urango pulls in a pair at 3-5. That's a really tight race for those 8 spots. Actually, there's less than 3 spots available left for qualification for the league at this point. And delivering high in the cross-court blast is Megan Kraft. Kraft, a 6-foot defender from San Diego, California, and Torrey Pines High School. Going cross court on the shot is Geena Urango. Urango, the 5'11" defender from Los Alamitos, California. One of the first big names to come out of USC's beach program.
The very first, Rob, to get a beach scholarship in the NCAA.
Dropping an ace is Toni Rodriguez. as the elevator drops to the floor as it clears the net.
3 of the 4 ladies all competed at USC, different times, but all being Trojans on the court right now.
Rodriguez, the lone Sandy Tig, as I've been corrected many times by our fellow commentator, Andrew Byer. I was Sandy Tiggs. Stepping in on the dig. Ball just goes out of play. Urango got a good read. A little too much heat by Canon.
And here's another interesting fact for Terese and Megan Kraft, both partners, former partners of Emily Stockman. She retired in Chicago last year, and now these two have teamed up.
Great read by Kraft on the attack by Urango. Blocked up top by Rodriguez. Another block by Rodriguez. Great set by Megan, no look. And the outside attack misses long.
And that's an unfortunate miss there because she had them on their heels.
Just a long rally to gas you.
And Urango coming in. Nice big swing. She wanted it. You can see a little unstable in her jump. Landing slightly off kilter.
One shot anticipated by Kraft. Kraft going cross court. This is long. Fixate on the switch.
And this is going to be a battle. I feel like all of these matchups are going to be within 2 points now from here on out because these ladies are so proficient and playing such good volleyball right now.
On top of that, they're some of the teams that have some of the highest volley IQs, I would say, that are still in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
6 looking at 8. Double contact called on the set.
That was interesting.
Too much.
I was just thinking about the shadows on the court actually as she set that ball, and like she's standing right on the line of sun and shadow, and sometimes it's just enough to play with your vision and your hand contact on ball as the sun starts to set here in Chicago.
The skyline of Chicago working against them, huh? Rodriguez high line over the block of Canon.
Canon and Kraft doing a little bit better job offensively, but Rodriguez stepping in here, working that up and over the block. That's improving her stats. Right now, she's 2 for 2 on attacks and kills.
Rodriguez back to serve. And doing a little dodgeball actions. Megan Kraft, that last minute call by Canon, directing her to get out of the way.
Yeah, just a little bit too long. I like the service pressure. They're working on serving Meg a little bit deep. It's good fall away.
Got served by Canon. Kraft wrist away winner.
Wow.
Excellent effort by Urango and Rodriguez.
Wow. I really thought she might have had a touch, but let's talk about Megan Kraft. She has an epic performance. Look, she's on the ground, gets up, big step close, and she was a primary blocker for the majority of her collegiate career, now switching over to being a defender on the Pro Beach Tour and here in the AVP.
The great stat line is we have a timeout on the court by Rodriguez. Urango trailing 11-7. I did see her playing defense behind a Tina Gradina early on when Tina was still around USC.
Yeah.
Had a couple goals.
I think that's where the taste of the defensive appetite came in. Specifically for the international stage. I mean, we're looking at a taller athlete, but maybe not the tallest one to have as your primary blocker. Meg Kraft standing at 6 feet is tall. I'd love to be 6 feet, but is it as tall as what we're seeing on that Pro Beach Tour? And it's not. Terese Cannon, standing at 6'3", has a higher fighting chance of having that international style block.
Well, I'll tell you what's coming up through juniors, which I know you're really familiar with. There are some potential 6'3", 6'4" defenders coming through who could easily be just as good of blockers.
Absolutely. And I think they're already crushing it on our Team USA on the junior side at the U19 World Championships that are in China taking place currently, and also the World University Championships happening down in Rio. They just flew off yesterday.
Unsigned, of course. Is that right?
I believe
Or
still
uncommitted,
unsigned.
sorry.
Uncommitted.
Ball falls
Nice
out of
scoop.
play.
Yeah, once again, I mean, such a good get by Megan and Terese, and that chemistry and connection is only going to continue to get better between the two of them.
And Megan's still the youngster in this whole group that's on the court right now. Rodriguez flicking it back over to Urango. Urango delivers inside the block of Canon.
And I love that they come together every time and have that moment of communication. It's short, it's simple, it's sweet, it's to the point. It's not a long conversation, but it's very effective.
Urango working down the line to Canon. Dater dig attempt by Rodriguez. Unfortunately stays just to the right of her. Out of the reach of Urango as we go to our first technical timeout, as Canon and Kraft lead 12-9 here in our Elimination Survival Saturday match here at our AVP Chicago Open. Megan, what are your thoughts of what we are seeing so far here in set number one?
I mean, Megan and Terese are playing very clean volleyball. They're executing what they need to do. They're passing very well. They're setting well. You actually saw that some of them are deciding to pass set when they're facing into the sun away from the lake there. I think that has to do with the sun and shadows as it's setting too, because normally the majority of them are hand setters. I think it's a fierce battle though. Rodriguez and Urango have been battling their way through this competition, picking up some huge wins. Earlier today, they definitely, had an all-out battle against Carly Kahn and Devin Sowers. They won in 3. So, they're playing 3-set matches. The only one they had yesterday in 2 was against Brooke Bauer and Megan Rice. Today, they came out with a 3-setter this morning against Olani Hodel and Kaylee York, and another 3-setter against Carly Kahn and Devin Sowers. This is their 3rd match of the day. And, it's hot here. It's fatiguing, and they're playing at a very high level.
We bring up an interesting point. All through the contenders bracket, there are only 2 sweep matches on the women's side. Rest are all 3-setters. And rolling by the block is Rodriguez. A lot of bodies on the side, the Kraft Canon side. Especially as Urango rolling it by the block of Canon.
Yeah, and here's the difference. Meg and Terese have only played, this is only their 2nd match today. They played Taryn and Kristen earlier in Stadium Court. Yes, they lost in 3 and they were pretty close matches, but they're still a little bit more fresh. They also only had 2 matches yesterday. So feeling a little bit more fresh, maybe as we're going in the home stretch of this bracket play.
High hard swing by Canon, drops in the corner. 13-10. Dropping an ace on the nylon. Beautiful serve by Canon. Mixing it up, going into the scene. Kraft chopping it down the line.
I love her big, boisterous celebration. It's something that we're starting to see a lot more from Meg Kraft, especially with the connection of a nice set from Terese Cannon.
That's grabbing that sideline. Look at that serve by Canon. That's 2 aces in this stretch of points now for Canon.
Well, Terese Canon is currently leading on the top of the chart, I should say, in fourth for service aces at 20. Betsy Flint at the top, then Lexi Denenberg and Kelly Chang take out your top three spots.
Another tough serve by Canon into that seam. Going to the left is Urango. Rodriguez keeping the net secure, but this time Kraft able to just get a swatting hand of Rodriguez.
Such a nicely executed and patient. You know, they didn't win the first one, recycled it. Patient play, trying to go a little bit higher. I know she was. And Rodriguez doing a good job trying to get a hand-on ball to shut that down so it stops happening more often.
Tough serve, creating a little havoc on the Urango Rodriguez side. Joust poking through by Canon. And taking care of business on two is Kraft. I thought I heard a touch, and that's why I called it touch, but they're calling it out.
I thought so too. Let's have a look in this replay. And right there. Now on the replay, I don't really see it, but I definitely heard it and saw it in live play. So thank God we have these awesome replays to capture some of that footage.
Well, we might as well give acknowledgement to our referees under Keith Merlis, the R1 in the Crow's Nest, while Matt Laveau, the R2 on the sand. Working on Kraft now. Kraft cuts it. Taken down up top by Canon. And the attack misses wide, 18-11.
And Geena was put to work there with a lot of contacts in a short little space. Nice little pokey over from Terese. Geena finds her feet, which is a great fast recovery. And looks to put it away, and it goes just wide.
High ball set in the middle, covered by Kraft. And Kraft with a drop shot winner just over the block.
I mean, seriously, she's doing it all. What an amazing dig by Megan Kraft right there. And her experience of playing in and around the net with some close contact. She looks like it was effortless.
It covers a lot of ground with the long stride zone. That's one thing I've recognized through her entire career. Recycled at the net. Look at that hammer by T-Rod or Toni Rodriguez.
I like that. She's taking full advantage of that open net. She got a lucky break there, and that's what you hope for. Is there a no block, and can I put it away?
Service into the net, giving Megan and Terese their first set point. Canon back to serve. Set point to 12. Terese having a really good service game so far here in our first set. Already dialing into two aces. Out of system play, but Urango gets a good enough hittable ball. He drops in the deep corner.
And that's a nice shot. Again, taking full opportunity of not having a blocker out the net. Yes, the set's off, but also putting it away.
13 serving to set point number 2. Net violation called, but Megan Kraft taking care of business at the right side. First set done at 21-13, going to Megan Kraft and Terese Canon. Megan, thoughts on the first set of action?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely lights out by Megan Terese. They're bringing in what they do best, and that's winning. You know, women of Troy, they're both used to always winning and battling it out. They're doing it on the Pro Beach Tour as well. A little disappointed with Rodriguez and Urango. I thought it would have been closer, and I definitely know offensively they weren't as in sync as they were in earlier matches. And that's showing here in the stats for Urango. She's hitting a 1-3-3. She's 15 attacks, 5 kills, excuse me, and 3 errors. So not as high as she usually is. And she's also fourth in our leaderboard on kills, as well as being on our leaderboard for digs. So Geena's dig to transition kill ratio is usually a lot higher. Overall, as a team, hitting a 2.50, Canon and Kraft at a 3.33. Pretty stable, not anything flashy. 7 digs for Meg Kraft there to Geena Urango's 3. A block for Canon. 3 aces, though, is the difference for coming from Canon, 1 from Rodriguez, but also 2 service errors. So a few things in it, and it's all the difference you need. And if you're not within 2 points, kind of pacing through a match against a team like Canon and Kraft, you don't stand a chance.
Well, Megan, let's talk league qualification here, because I was looking at the notes before going into this one, and this is a must-win match for Megan and Terese to secure one of the final spots in the AVP league competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And they deserve to be there. They're a fantastic team and they're doing so many great things together.
And Rodriguez patrolling up high, shutting Canon down right out of the gate.
But Rodriguez and Urango are not going to let them have it easy. They're a very solid team. They're very disciplined. They don't make a lot of errors.
After the wipe of the sunglasses, Urango heading back to the service line. They've been working on Canon and serve receive. Option ball, going aggressive on the swing was Canon. Tying up at ones, Megan Kraft back to serve. Wherever Megan Kraft goes, she seems to be making history. Torrey Pines got their first CIF Southern Section or San Diego Section and State Championship when she was there with her partner at USC, Delaney Maple.
Yeah, the duo were a big standout, and they actually, I believe Meg transferred into Torrey Pines so that they could continue to train and compete together. They were some of our young guns in the USA office when I was working there for high performance, coming in, I think, at the age of 14, 15, training under the national team and having that exposure very early on to what our national team athletes are doing in the gym, in strength and conditioning, with physical therapy and traveling on the road.
Toni Rodriguez going into the referee stand. A little shaken up there. Wonder if it's a knee or a ankle. Back. Is screened by the stand, obviously.
Looks like she landed pretty hard on that knee. That's the knee she seems to be wearing the brace on.
So we have a brief pause in play.
Definitely. It is, yeah. Nancy Mason has been Geena Urango's coach for quite a long time, as well as being the head coach at Miracosta High School, which has won the last few state championships in Southern California.
Seeing her at the new CIF Southern Section Beach Championships the last 2 seasons. Asking Nancy, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm the head coach.
Oh, yes, I know that because I coach at Redondo, so she's our fellow foe.
You guys can't talk when you're wearing the team gear, huh?
In fairness, we really just do it for the kids because it's such a great opportunity and such a gift that they can play beach volleyball in high school. We probably have 2 of the largest programs in the country. Nancy has on average 100 kids on her roster. We're definitely over 50.
Well, definitely is the fastest growing sport participation wise in both the girls and boys sides. I'm wondering if, do they have to put a request for that official medical timeout? And
I think they do, and that would be a 5 minutes on the clock.
If she's sticking with it, but she's still walking a little slow. But she
She's
assures the
rallied.
crowd, Wonder Woman is in the house.
I love that.
She's come back from a lot of trials and tribulations injury-wise over the last few seasons. So I'd love to see that she's getting back out there. And Urango starts it off with a baby cutty.
Nothing a little adrenaline can't help with.
It's a cool down afterwards, right, Meg?
Absolutely. And there's a lake right there.
2-2 Rodriguez back to the service line.
Let's go!
And the Sand Monster grabbing Megan Kraft's feet. Can't get up to that second ball after the pass from Canon.
A little bit of fast contact there. It's so hard when you get stuck together because you have that momentum. You almost want to bank off your partner, but you can't at that time.
First lead for Rodriguez and Urango at 3-2. But Kraft dropping a little knuckle shot to tie it up at threes.
I mean, let's just talk about Geena Urango sprinting across, almost making a play on, and that just shows how proficient that shot from Meg Kraft is, how fast it is traveling to the sand. Because Geena's on that. She had the read. She was almost right there.
Shanked pass saved by Urango. And Rodriguez looking for hands and misses long. 4-3 on our first switch in the second set. You can tell that Rodriguez Urango are a little out of rhythm after that injury stoppage.
A little bit, and you saw Rodriguez going off of 1 foot on that contact. Not saying it's bothering her knee or anything, but just noticing she is taking a one-legged approach there.
And working that sideline. That's a tough serve over towards Urango's side. But a better shot by Urango.
I mean, that looks so incredible out of Geena. Literally handling the hammer of a serve, popping up so quickly, having complete composure and coming in and putting that ball away.
Urango standing at 5'11". And an attack error for Kraft. Took a very awkward approach to that ball. It's like she misjudged the path.
Yeah, definitely misjudged it. Did not keep the ball on the right side of her shoulder there. The set also kind of died inside a little bit.
And Canon with the attack error ties it up at 5s.
A little bit of a turn.
Errors.
Yeah, a little bit of a turn of tides here with Meg Kraft and Terese Canon, but I'm not really worried about them. They're pretty good at mitigating continued errors.
Correction on the score. It's actually 6-4 for Rodriguez Urango as Kraft delivers inside the block of Rodriguez. Both in 1 and 5-6.
And another nice hand set there by Terese Canon. And Meg bringing in that sharp angle shot.
Urango stuffed at the net by Canon.
Yeah!
Overset and Canon feasts on the gift.
And the throwdown by Terese Canon. Look at her hang in there. Double touch. That's one block touch. There's your second and the redirection throwdown. She's not having that ball come back for a third contact.
Standing at 6'3" helps having more parts of her arms above the net for longer. 7 serving 6. Former Sandy Tig back to serve, and she goes off the cable. Getting up is Canon. She goes off the block of Rodriguez. Big showing some good mobility there, tying it up at 7s.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to battle back. So I think both teams have to be on their A game. You can't make a lot of errors, and you have to figure out how you can get that ball to hit the open sand as fast and quickly as you can.
Wonder with the shadows if there's a better side. I have to say,
It's almost even, in my opinion. That last little corner where Terese is standing right now is the last tricky one.
hands that to the right, pin to Urango from Rodriguez, and she delivers deep in that area one corner. Urango in 84 previous AVPs and a foot fault called on the serve.
Did that actually tag as well?
I was watching. I was surprised that I heard that whistle. Oh, yeah, she hit it for sure. And it did tag the sideline.
Yeah. What a beautiful serve despite the foot fault.
Dropping float serve, but Rodriguez gets up in time. And there's a need judgment, a little discussion. Ball's called in, so we're tied at 8s.
Let's have a look here. Rodriguez laying out, keeping that right knee protected a little bit in her movements. And now she's going down that high line.
Just the outside part of that end line.
The sand splash pushing it backwards. Oh, reverse call.
Oh, they were still discussing that same ball. Oh, they're not even taking the time to check the imprint. It's time to just work on the next point.
Okay, lucky break here either way for Rodriguez and Urango, notching up another point.
Kraft on the attack, and she goes off the block. And Rodriguez.
Great fierce play to come back with.
Sometimes even after calls, just got to resettle, refocus, and play for the next point. And float serve misses long. Like our errors are mounting up, or unforced errors are, after seeing some clean play by Megan and Terese in the first set.
And it's not unlikely. Listen, it's late in the day. Both of these teams have played some big matches, emotional matches. So sometime when that battle is just, not as much pressure on Canon and Kraft right now. They won the first set. The pressure is really on Rodriguez and Urango. So sometimes those little casual errors just seem to slip out.
Kraft back to the service line, all tied up at 10s. Trying to punch their ticket into the AVP League with a victory here. But not before an option from Geena Urango lands in the corner as they go into our technical timeout, with Rodriguez Urango leading 11-10.
Yeah, and that's a great comeback, I guess you could say, for Geena Urango and Toni Rodriguez. And that's as solid as they can play and as fierce as they can play. And you have to be ready. They're not going to let this go like set number one. That is for sure. That to me was a little bit of a fluke to have that high of a point spread. They're going to be in it to battle. And if Meg Kraft and Terese Canon want this done, they've got to pull together right here and finish it in 2, in my opinion. Save that energy to be able to move on into the next matchup.
Well, if anything, if anyone knows beach volleyball for Rodriguez and Urango, that first set score was just an anomaly. So
total fluke, in my opinion.
They'll right the ship in the intermission and take care of business in the second. Looking at the other scores across the sand here, over on court number 2, or stadium court, Chang and Hughes up 1-0 on Brooke Bauer and Megan J. Rice, and also leading the second set 10-7. That is an elimination match as well. Loser will take 5th place, and on to the semifinals will be the winner. Championship Sunday approaching ever so closely as we are getting near the end of day 2 of our AVP Chicago Open.
And it's getting so exciting because as we come to Championship Sunday, it also means that the AVP League kicks off in just 2 weeks.
And just a few spots remain on the women's and the men's side after some of the results that have happened today. Rodriguez on the serve over towards Kraft. And Kraft drills it and breaks the gator dig attempt by Urango.
I love the heat that's coming behind that ball from Meg Kraft. Geena Urango has the hands up, but too hot to handle.
Fantasy Stats Guru, I love the fact that you're right on top of this. Looks like Harwood, DeBerg, and Simo Van Winkle are lining up to do a league tiebreaker match in Stadium if Rice Bauer lose. Look out below, Geena Urango bringing a little salsa caliente at the right side.
I like the spice. And that is definitely is the case, Fantasy Stats Guru. If there is a tiebreaker needed, unless Bauer and Rice pass Kylie DeBerg, Haley Harwood, Savvy Simone, Abby Van Winkle, then yes, that tiebreaker will take place.
So excited for that league competition to begin. Where I live in California, I can hit a couple of locations regularly between San Diego and LA and Anaheim as we get an ace delivered. What a wicked serve by Kraft. That thing just dropped as soon as it cleared the net.
Yeah, it's like a bomb, and it's actually quite similar to the Germans' Laura Ludwig serve that she perfected for the Olympics, and it was designed to actually drop at that 14-foot mark.
Ball's knocked off the block by Urango. Ball finds the sand to tie it up at 13s. And speaking of Laura Ludwig, retiring after a 20-plus year career after last weekend's competition in the European Championship.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Oh, sorry, it was an FIVB event. My bad.
Yeah, in Hamburg, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No better place for her to retire.
Tough serve by Rodriguez. Kraft now on the attack, and she delivers. She's partnered up with Luisa Lippmann, whom I met on the indoor side of things for the national team of Germany. I actually had the opportunity to meet Laura Ludwig at the World Series of Beach Volleyball in 2016 in Long Beach. Passed off the net by Urango. She goes off the block of Canon. Some boo birds in attendance, not liking that. I wonder what they were booing. It was a good play.
Let's have a look here. Big step close from Geena Urango. Canon almost had it just out of reach of her and Meg Kraft.
All tied up at 14s. Sure, at the end of the day, there's got to be some fatigue setting in on both teams. And Canon unable to fish that one out of the net.
Exactly, Rob. And I think it's good to point that out also that Rodriguez and Urango have played in a whole nother match of 3 sets today than Canon and Kraft had.
Great serve by Urango. You could see her going wrist away, aiming for that corner off that view. 16-14, we got a timeout taken by Megan and Terese.
Yeah, really nice pass. Little save there.
Guess
it's a good movement. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
I was going to say, I guess you can dial that in as an ace.
Yeah, it was a good pass movement by Terese Canon. Just couldn't get enough of a long contact on it there. A bit outside of her body alignment. Meg Kraft making a good move to try to make a contact on it.
Well, the best way to get aces is aiming for sidelines and seams. And you could tell on that last serve, Urango was aiming for that sideline of Canon's.
I mean, she's been lethal tagging the sidelines. And unfortunately, the best one, in my opinion, she had the foot fault on. But I mean, she's really working to tag those perimeters. And that's what you need at this next level. You cannot serve at the receiver. They're too good. You have to have some ability to disrupt their passing sequence.
Well, she grips and rips from the service line and always makes for a fun watch for a volleyball fan. Urango back to the service line with a 2-point lead. Trying to force a third set tiebreak. Overpass by Canon. Easy feasting for Toni Rodriguez. Another.
Wow.
What a nasty serve by Urango.
She's the firing squad back there. She's unstoppable.
She put on her laser focus and just aimed for that sideline. And Canon finally stops the run with the cross-court putaway.
Yeah, Geena's not going home without leaving it on the court. You can tell that by her serving style.
We could tell that Geena was moving Canon over, therefore Megan was moving over. Then she switched it over to serve Megan on that sideline. And Urango knocks it off, a pulling into the angle Canon. 19-15.
Rob, it looks like we might be moving into a third and tiebreak set here.
And we're not shocked by any means.
Surprise!
And Rodriguez enforcing the net. We have a set point for Rodriguez Urango. After the side switch, I think that injury stoppage may have been a benefit to Rodriguez and Urango early in the second set.
Yeah, absolutely. It gave them just a moment to collect themselves. They've done a great job, though, not letting point runs happen here in set number 2.
Rodriguez over to Canon, knuckle poke. And it misses long, and we are going to a third set tiebreak with Urango and Rodriguez taking that second 21-15. And I'm curious, Megan, if you saw any particular adjustments made by Rodriguez and Urango to grab that equalizer set.
Well, for one, a lethal weapon on the service line with Geena Urango completely. I mean, the service pressure, she got 3 aces, 4 aces for her team there. That's 4 3 points and only 1 service error this time. That's a big change for them. Both of them hitting 500 or greater, and Canon at 250, Kraft at 500 overall in that set. Still only 1 block apiece. And I don't know if the stats are not updated, but there were 0 digs posted on the current stat sheet for that matchup in set number 2. I find it hard to believe, but not actually.
Well, it's crazy because just looking at the first and second set stats, attacking efficiency wise, Rodriguez Urango finished the first hitting 250, and in the second they hit a scorching 615.
Yeah, total difference from them right there.
And of course, those 4 total aces for Rodriguez Urango are eye-catching because 3 for Urango, 1 for Rodriguez. A lot of pressure in serve receive, and they're working on Canon. Although they did get an ace on Megan on 1 ball, but it's because she's trying to shift over to help Terese in serve receive. And the teams are coming out for our third set tiebreak, and why not get extra volleyball? 3 of the 4 athletes on the sand, former Trojans.
And all of them played NCAA collegiate beach volleyball, and that's a testament to the investment in development. And things don't just happen overnight. Started off in 2012. We're now at the 10 to 12 year mark in celebrating the start of that success.
First ball goes over towards Urango, and Urango going to that baby cut shot again, 1-0. Urango, a seasoned vet in the AVP. serves that one into the net. All tied at ones.
And this is going to be a battle from the service line to start. Canon has the cannon. On the other side, it's a lethal weapon. So we're at war here from the service lines.
Canon goes into the cable and stays on their side, 2-1. I feel like Megan and Terese played a pretty error-free first set and have since kind of declined. As you see an attack error now from Canon, making it 3-1.
And a little bit of a forced movement there. You see Terese Canon not really fully locking her hips into the angle, a little bit over her head and left shoulder to hit that shot.
Rodriguez from the service line. Good touch by Urango. There's a touch on the block by Canon, has to go over. Urango knuckles it, picked up by Kraft, going to the left-handed Canon.
What an absolutely brilliant play. You can see how frustrated they are on that, because that was a great rally by all four ladies. Look at that up from Megan Kraft and just the extension and control to the open court.
Going ambidextrous is Canon. Hitting with their non-dominant hand. They still trail 2-3 here early in our third set tiebreak. Urango now on the attack and overrunning the ball was Kraft on the Rodriguez swing.
And that is a beautiful contact by Toni Rodriguez in the angle. Maybe a little confusion between Meg Kraft and Terese Canon on the strategy.
Doing the double line defense apparently. And Urango tagging the end line on the ace, 5 serving a 2.
I mean, it's absolutely incredible to watch.
Look at this ball. We got cut off on the screen.
And there's a tiny bit of wind coming in behind Meg Kraft's back right side.
Good anticipation by Urango on the shot by Canon. And Urango transition winner per point to extend the lead to 4 at 6-2. We finally get a timeout taken by Kraft and Canon.
Yeah, and that's enough of a point spread to press pause and to really have a look. Offensively, they're doing an okay job holding themselves stable. Defensively, though, they're not getting a block and they're not getting a dig. So some connection between their strategy or how they're executing it isn't working completely just yet.
It seems like the team of Kraft and Canon trying to find their groove after dropping that second set. They weren't playing as clean as they were in that first set.
Set was very, very clean and dialed in, looking extremely proficient and confident moving through set number 1. However, the tide has turned just a little bit, and now they have to get to work.
Right now, Urango and Rodriguez hitting 600 in the third set alone with 0 attack errors. And finally misses a serve long, but it was close.
Hard to be confident and let that go, seeing as she just got aced on a very similar ball. Good pressure from Geena Urango.
Really looking at 6. Canon serving. And Rodriguez dropping it down the line. All the bigs getting worked in serve receive right now, Meg.
Yeah, absolutely. And Toni Rodriguez is holding true. I might look to consider changing who I'm serving, or even just pushing it down the middle and letting Geena and Toni kind of figure out whose it is.
7-3. Former Sandy Tag going back to serve again. And Canon unloads on the high ball in the middle.
And here's a really interesting thing to kind of work. You see where the shadow line is for Meg Kraft. That cut shot into Geena Urango's right side. It's going to be very hard for her to see that ball drop in because of that little bit of the angle of the sun coming in. Likewise on Meg Kraft's cut side on the right.
Dirty ace winner, the trickler or the tapeworm by Megan Kraft makes it 5-7.
I'd be looking to almost use that and work Geena Urango's short right side.
This one goes into the net. 8-5. Working that short, long, and then the sidelines and the seams. They're mixing it up. Heard the call line, but Canon went cross anyways. Ball saved by Kraft, overset, covered by Canon. And Rodriguez dropping it in the coffin corner.
That deserves a roar for sure, because that was a great play by Toni Rodriguez, staying patient up there, waiting, and making that happen twice.
Intentionally going over towards area 1, knowing that Canon had gone towards that area 5 line. Overpass, and Rodriguez is fired up after that one. Point and switch at 10-5.
Let's have a look here. Meg's pass a bit too tight for sure for Terese. If I was Terese, maybe going up and jousting that one. Didn't have an opportunity, looking for those hands to be over and the call of interference.
Here we go, this one. Got you, buddy.
Kraft on the attack. And she spins it high line. 6-2.
Nice. And we haven't seen a whole lot of high line shots, even though they're calling high line. They were still stepping on the inside and swinging angles. So that's a nicely executed shot there by Megan Kraft. Good, clear communication. Hey, partner, I'm on this island with you. Let's stick together and get this job done.
High ball out to Rodriguez. She knocks it off the cable, dug by Kraft. Knuckle pokey by Kraft. Sneaks by Rodriguez at the net, 7-10.
What a fight. And it's so insignificant, but look how high and smooth Terese lifted that ball. Meg Kraft can do anything with it because Terese just takes the craziness out of the ball. She just calms down, smooths it out.
Reball has to be put over by Rodriguez, but she still gets up to get a block on that. And Megan Kraft.
I think that ball just goes wide. Missed opportunity for me for Meg Kraft, and Terese Canon getting a free ball over off of a good service pressure, unable to convert that one.
Missed opportunity with no block, and everyone kind of caught off guard on defense as Rodriguez steps back to the service line up 11-7. Getting up is Canon off the out-of-system play. Rodriguez, or correction, Urango getting aggressive and letting it rip out of the right side.
I'm loving this performance right now between Toni Rodriguez and Geena Urango. They're putting the pressure on. They're moving things around. They're not hitting the same shots. Big, huge runway and step close from Geena Urango. Doesn't often go line, and that's a great time to go line.
The dirty ace winner. You can tell the volley gods are on the side of Urango Rodriguez. 13-7 on the turn.
So frustrating. You just want it so bad, but that's a nice serve too. Some chalk it up to experience.
Or some just say the sorry, not sorry ace.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. I'll take the point.
There we go. Taking an extended time on the sand are Kraft and Canon. 13-7, Rodriguez again. Urango picking up a lot of balls in this match. Great one-hand save by Rodriguez. Nice and alert. And Rodriguez, ball still in play. Kraft hits it into the net. And we have match point.
What a play. Look at that chicken wing chill. Back up, going up for it. Terese on the defensive move. Impressive. Canon going up for it. Even gets a recovery and just a little bit of a panic motion falling onto her left side.
That's a Cajun style chicken wing because she's from Louisiana. Match point to 7. And Canon scraping the sideline.
Here's what I love about this partnership. You even hear Meg Kraft going, yes, T, let's go. They're still battling. They still feel that they'll win this match, and they are staying together. And I love that about this pair.
Kraft back to serve. 8 serving to match point number 2. And that's how it ends. A service error means game, set, and match going to the team of Geena Urango and Toni Rodriguez. Before I do a recap, thoughts on this matchup, Meg?
You know, a little disappointing from Canon Kraft. It came out fighting, fierce. I didn't see the same level of play, copy and paste over to set 2 and set 3, even in stringing back-to-back points together. But my goodness, what an epic battle from Toni Rodriguez and Geena Urango. A lethal weapon from the service line is Geena, and there she is. She should be so proud of her performance here today.
Well, the only thing I need to add is with the loss for Terese Canon and Megan Kraft, they finish with a 5th at the AVP Chicago Open. Still waiting to see if they get one of the final spots, the AVP League. Whereas on the other side of the net, Geena Urango and Toni Rodriguez advance to match 28, which is the semifinals, to face off against number 3 seed, Melissa Umana Paredes and Brandy Wilkerson. We still got one more match coming up here on court number 1. Megan Bergdorf, great working with you today. Looking forward to catching up with you, but we have got to finish business here.
Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you in the Crowd Zone. Thanks for tuning in, and for our production crew, I'll see you hopefully for the league this fall.
Great work, Megan. Look forward to catching you in, and please do stay on for our Court 1 stream finale provided by Valley Live. I'm Rob Espero. For Meg Bergdorf, we'll catch you in about 10 or so.
No. Are you okay with that? Or you want it up? A little low. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, lock under it. Limbo.
Come on, you're like what, 28 years old?
Which kid are we talking about?
How many shots do we get for that?
How many what?
How many times can we win during the match? 1 each? 1 each? 1 each. 6.